What's up, guys? Breaking down UFC Mexico City, guys. You guys know that the last time they were in Mexico City, I believe it was Cain Velasquez versus Fabricio Werdum, and Cain Velasquez gassed he gassed hard. Considering he was Mexican too, it's crazy. You have to come to Mexico City pretty early, bro. I'm talking 3 weeks out to elevate, bro. If you're just coming to Mexico City the same week that you're fighting, man, good luck, buddy. We're gonna have a lot of upsets on this card. We're gonna break this card down from head to toe, and we're gonna start off with the first bout. First bout of the night. Let's go. It's a prelim, obviously. We got Muhammad Naimov versus Eric Silva. Guys, if you guys know, the majority picks are gonna be like I was watching like a bunch of people breaking down this fight, and they were going Muhammad Naimov. Obviously, they're Eric Silva's a massive underdog, but we know why you're going Naimov. You can never go wrong with the OV. If you see OV at the end of their name, most of the time, 90% of the time, they're gonna win. That's not what I'm basing my whole prediction on. This is what the people on Tapology have picked. 542 picks have been picking Naimov. Only 3% of the people have been picking Silva. We could just look at Silva's record. It speaks for itself. If you guys watch, his last loss to T.J. Brown was by arm triangle. Obviously, he had a very good streak. But his BJJ is sometimes what fails him. He lost by rear naked choke as well earlier in his career. If we break down these fights, guys, let's break down the stats. We got 10-2 versus 9-2, minus 280 favorite, which it says moderate favorite, but anytime you see anything above 250 or anything from 250 to 300, that's too much of a favorite. Uh, it's too much of a favorite. Like 300, minus 400, too big of a favorite. You don't win anything. 29 years old, 36 years old, 145, 146, same weight, 5'9", 5'9", same height, 70, 71, only a 1-inch discrepancy in reach. I'm going to go Muhammad Naimov. If you guys have seen Muhammad Naimov fight, guys, let's break down his last 5 fights. This guy is an absolute machine, guys. We know with these Dagestani, these Russian guys, these guys are fucking crazy. Look at his decision unanimous, right hook, head kick, decision, arm triangle. We know he could probably find a submission on this guy. I'm going Muhammad Naimov, and I'm going by decision. All right, up the card. Up the card. What do we got? Excuse me. We got Victor Altamarino versus Felipe Dos Santos. If you guys know Felipe Dos Santos, man, he had an awesome bout with Manel Cape. Let's just break down their statistics first. We go 230 favorite. 230 underdog. And then we got minus 285 favorite. I think that's too big of a favor for Felipe Dos Santos. We'd never know. They're fighting at elevation. These guys can gas out within the end of the first round. He's from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Obviously, he's the hometown. 33 years old versus 23. That's something you can take into consideration, considering Felipe Dos Santos is a little young. But that fight with Manel Cape spoke to me, man. That fight was amazing. They both fight. This is in the flyweight division. 5'8", 5'7", 70, 70. This card is amazing with matchups. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go Felipe Dos Santos, but I'm basing my prediction based on the fight with Manel Cap, and I know you can't just base one fight on base a prediction on just one fight, but he fights from shoot box, so that's where Oliveira's from. They're training hard. He lost by decision to Manel Cape, and I thought that decision it didn't bring his stock down at all. I'm going Felipe Dos Santos, and I'm going by 3rd round KO. Let's go. Up the card, guys. We got Luis Rodriguez versus Dennis Bondar. Guys, I'm just going to read the statistics, and then I'm going to show you guys a clip. We got, here we go. Plus 100, near even. Guys, this is good odds. When you see plus 100, that's pretty good. Obviously, plus 200 is good, but is it likely? Betting odds, minus 220. I think he's too big of a favorite, considering Dennis Bondar he's coming off of 2 losses, and his last loss was a brutal KO. 24 years old, 31 years old, 135. He's fought at bantamweight, I believe, before, but this will take place in the flyweight division. It's 5'6", 5'6", 65 to 69. That's going to be a little bit of a reach for Dennis Bondar, but let's just look. If we look at 1,448 picks of Tapology, 78% are picking Rodriguez, and a lot of people aren't going with Bondar. This is one of the reasons why I'm not going Bondar. I'm just gonna show you guys this clip. Hang on. He last fought Carlos Hernandez 8 months ago. He got knocked out by the head clash of Slam, and then brutally just elbows. I thought that this ref should have gotten fired because this is a terrible stoppage. This stoppage is brutal, bro, and takes that takes years off your life. That type of stoppage. We saw last week with Volkanovski and Ilia Topuria. Ilia Topuria knocked him out in the second round. I I predicted every single card. I predicted every single fight on that card except for the main event when I did my last minute pick flip by Volk by decision. I predicted the whole card from top to bottom correct except for the main event. But I ended up hedging Ilia Topuria, and he ended up winning me some cash. So, we know though statistically that 35-year-old stat or that stat after you get brutally knocked out, it's hard to come back in the UFC. This isn't boxing. This is UFC MMA. It's one of the most hardest divisions, the most hardest sports to ever compete in. So, with that being said, I'm going Luis Rodriguez. If you guys want some plus money, guys, go Luis Rodriguez. But if you guys aren't, if you guys are iffy with these picks and you guys don't trust me, you guys can always trust the over 1.5. Never discredit the over 1.5. This is definitely going over 1.5. You just have to pick and choose correctly on which fights will go over 1.5 and which ones won't. So I'm going Luis Rodriguez and I'm going by knockout. Third round TKO. Let's go. Up the card, fourth fight of the night, Claudio Puelles versus Fares Zam. Guys, Fares Zam is going to be a massive favorite, minus 225 favorite. He's from France, 14-4, 26 years old to 27 years old, 155. They both fight at the lightweight division, 5'10 to 6'1. A little bit 3 inches in height, and then 72-inch to 75. That's a little bit it's a little bit bigger than I expected. That's like 3 inches. We look at the majority picks. A lot of people are picking Zaim, but we know why. We know Claudio Puelles, his last fight against Dan Hooker was absolutely trash. He lost by body kicks in round 2. Like, first of all, like, what are you doing pulling guard in the middle of nowhere? Like, why are you pulling guard on Dan Hooker and then just scooting your butt across the mat? Like, that was one of the most worst performances. He was just BJJ heavy, and it ended up being detrimental to his own demise. We look at Claudio Puelles. He always has that submission game. He can pull out a submission out of nowhere. He could probably turn this guy around, reverse him, and then get a nice submission. I'm going to go the over. I'm going to over 1.5, but if you guys are feeling a little bit riskier, you guys can go to over 2.5. I am not betting on this fight. I hate it when I see Claudio Puelles fight. Like, this guy's like, in my opinion, he's boring, but he could pull out a sub out of nowhere. I'm going Fares Zaim, and I'm gonna go by decision. But I wouldn't be surprised if he knocks him out. I know a lot of people are hedging Claudio Puelles because he can. It's his hometown, and he could pull out a sub out of nowhere. You know what? I'm gonna make a pick flip. I'm gonna make a pick flip video on Friday. Right now, as of right now, I'm going Claudio Puelles by submission. I'm going Claudio Puelles by submission, just because I don't know enough about Fares Zaim, and I feel like he's only fought. He doesn't have a lot of weight. Obviously, he beat Jai Herbert. He lost it. Oh, he lost to Terrence McKinney by rear naked choke. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think I remember this guy. Yeah, I remember this guy. Sorry for the ear rape. I'm going Claudio Puelles by submission. Let's go. But guys, on Friday I'll be uploading a what's it called? A pick flip video. Just judging the weigh-in results and all that, and just choosing on who I want to who I think is gonna win based on the face-offs and based on how they weighed in. Off the card we got Edgar Chavez versus Daniel Lacerda. Guys, if you guys know this fight, this fight has been rescheduled like 10 times. Like obviously not 10 times, but it's been rescheduled a couple of times. He first lost to Edgar Chavez. It was a no contest, premature stoppage at 3 minutes and 47 seconds into round 1. I don't know, he got him into a choke, and then Lacerda tapped, and then he said he didn't tap, and I don't, it was more on the ref's part. It was a canceled bout. in October, and now we have this fight this Saturday. I'm going with the same pick, guys. You guys can watch this fight. I'm going Edgar Chavez. Edgar Chavez was whooping him. He wrapped him up in the same round. You guys know, if we look at the stats, minus 380. That's a big favorite. You know, he's Mexican. Is from his hometown. They're looking to give this guy a win. Obviously, this was a good. It was good to reschedule this fight, but Edgar Chavez is a guy who could be on the parlays, not a guy that's just straight money line. It's 28 years old to 27, both in the flyweight division, 5'7" to 5'6", 72 inch to 70 reach. I'm going Edgar Chavez. Give me Edgar Chavez by first round knockout. Up the card, sixth fight of the night, Jesus Aguilar versus Matias Mendoza. Guys, if you guys know Matias Mendoza, he's he's Brazilian, but he's a little inconsistent. Maybe that has to do with his youth. 25 years old, plus 125, slight underdog. This is a nice fight. This is some juicy props. Minus 150, slight betting favorite. 27 years old to 25 years old, both in the flyweight division. We have a lot of flyweight fights. 5'4" to 5'6", 62 to 71 inch reach. This guy also fights from shoot box, from where Charles Oliveira fights. And honestly, I'm gonna look more into this fight. And obviously, I've watched a lot of footage on both of these guys, but this is one of those fights where I don't know, like off the top of my head. I have to watch like how they both weigh in and how they look, face to face, because we know most of the time sometimes these stats aren't exactly correct. But I'm going Jesus Aguilar, and I'm going by decision. And what I'm basing, I know he fights from shoot box, but I'm basing my prediction on his last losses. If we look at not Nate Maines and Javid Barcelos, he lost by decision, and then he lost to ground and pound in round one. That's what I'm basing my prediction. If you guys saw that Mendoza fight, that fight was it wasn't a good performance. So I'm going Jesus Aguilar by decision. 29-28. I'll give it 29-28. Up the card, we got the seventh fight of the night. Christian Kinois versus Henny Barcelos. Hernani Barcelos. Sorry. Let me look at this. Let me just click on this fight. Let me just click on it. Okay. Plus 145, slight underdog. Minus 175. Mexico, Brazil. We have a lot of Mexico versus Brazil on this card, and a lot of shoot box fighters. I'm guessing it's because it's more easier to have a lot of the same fighters from the same place on the same card at once, and considering Mexico isn't that far from Brazil, I guess it's a little bit more convenient for the Brazilians. But I have a feeling it's going to be a bad night for the Brazilians. We have 27 years old versus 36 years old. Henny Barcelos is a minus 175. I don't like seeing that. Guys, if this fight was 3 years ago, 4 years ago, then you could go Henny Barcelos. But look at this guy. This guy has one win in the last 5. Like, this guy is, if you talk about that 35 stat rule, like from 125 flyweight division to 155, the fighters over 35, most of the time, they don't end up getting the belt. And they end up hitting the decline a lot faster than the heavyweights or the women fighters. He's 36 years old, and I take that massively into consideration, considering that I took that lightly last week. I'm gonna go Christian Kinois. If this was 3 to 4 years ago, you can go Henny Barcelos, but I think Mexico's gonna have a great night, man. And I'm going Christian Kinois. This is an awesome underdog, guys. You can get him in a straight money line. Obviously, a lot of people have Barcelos. You know, they believe he still got it. I'm going Kinois, guys. Give me the dog. Give me the dog. Dog or pass, honestly, because I'm not trusting Hayani Barcelos with my money. All right, and I'm gonna go by decision. Give me Christian Kinois by decision. 29-28. Yeah, I'll go 29-28. Number 8, the 8th fight of the night. Manuel Torres versus Chris Duncan. If you guys know these guys, Chris Duncan is a guy who gets hit a lot. You know, we have minus 115 to minus 105. This is one of those fights where you could probably make a lot of money on. Mexico, home fighter, 28 years old versus 30 years old, not that much age gap. 156 lightweight division, 5'10 to 5'10, and 73 to 71, almost exactly. Like it's not that far. Like the reach won't be an issue. Um, if we look at this fight, I think Chris Duncan gets hit too much. We look at his last five. He had a cancel bout with Terrence McKinney. I wish we could have seen that. I know Terrence McKinney would have probably whooped him. But we look at his he's on a 4 fight win streak. There's no weight. There's no weight to his wins. Obviously, you're just starting and you have to build it up. But we go with El Loco, Manuel Torres. I've seen this guy's fights. He's on a 5 fight win streak. This guy's from the Dana White Contender Series. He competed, and we know that Dana White Contender Series is a little bit more elite. Nicholas Mota, Frank Camacho, Colton England, Carlos Canada, and Daniel Vega. I know those fighters a little bit more than Chris Duncan. Chris Duncan gets hit too much. Chris Duncan gets hit way too much, in my opinion. Give me Manuel Torres by knockout, second round. All right, ninth fight of the night. We got a women's card for the first time. Well, we got a women's fight for the first to open up the main card. Sorry, obviously the last fight opened up the main card, but this is the first women's fight of the night. We got Yasmin Hurguera versus Sam Hughes. You think of Hughes and you think of the last name like Matt Hughes, like the one of the greatest wrestlers, the guy who had the great rivalry with GSP. Yasmin, Mexico favorite, minus 470. Too big of a favorite. She lost her last fight. Who'd she lose her last fight to? She lost her last fight to Denise Gomes by punches in round one. There was literally 20 seconds left and she lost. I thought that was pretty embarrassing. Sam Hughes is 300 plus 350, and it says moderate underdog. That's a massive underdog. 24 years old to 31, 115. This is taking place in the strawweight division, 5'3 to 5'5, 64 inches to 64.5. These girls are basically exactly like same physique. We got 93% of the people picking Hurigoi over Hughes, only 7%. Guys, you guys know when you see a big favorite on this card, sometimes it's a parlay piece or it's just don't touch. Sometimes when the favorites are too big, just don't touch. There's like a rule where it's like over 500, if it's minus 500, just don't touch sometimes. But give me Yasmin Hurigoi, and I'm gonna go by. Let me just see. Ground and pound. Okay. So she's more of a striker than she is of a BJJ submission specialist. I'm gonna go KO second round. Give me KO. Yasmin. Let's go. We got a lot of dogs though, but the dogs are a little bit earlier in the card. That's where the dogs are really gonna come in. Now the 10th fight of the night, guys. Oh, the main card, guys. This is already the main card. Raul versus Jr. versus Ricky Tosios. Minus 260. Raul Rosas Jr. He opened up as a massive favorite for this fight automatically. Plus 210 for Ricky Tercios. 19 years old, which is crazy. He's 1 year younger than me. That's insane. And he's in the UFC. Obviously, sometimes that can scream CTE, but it's okay. Raul Rosas Jr. is a grappler. And he's in one of the most stacked divisions ever, 135. But we saw Charles Oliveira enter the UFC at like 20 years old, and look at how he turned out. He's a demon. So we know that we can't take his last loss to Christian Rodriguez. It was by decision. No shame in that, bro. It's the beginning of the UFC fight career, man. Obviously, you're gonna lose. Let's look at the majority pick. 85% of the majority pick is going with Raul versus Jr. I don't know if that has to do with just Raul versus Jr. just being a massive name, or if it has to do more with Ricky Tercios' record. We just look at Ricky Tercios. It looks like they're just trying to give Raul versus Jr. a win. But you can't always base. He's on the one. I don't know. I just feel like Ricky Tercios is just too inconsistent. and they're feeding him. They're just trying to get Raul Jr. a win. I'm gonna go Raul Jr. Give me what did he have in his last fight? He had Terrence Mitchell from punches, rear naked choke, KO. Give me submission. Give me submission. Give me a third round submission. Give me Raul Rosas Jr.'s third round submission. 67-inch reach to 71. I don't think that plays any factor at all, considering Raul Rosas Jr. is just going to take him down. He's looking just to grapple. And Ricky Tercio sucks on the ground. Up the card. My. Oh. I was about to say my favorite, but not my favorite fight. Not my favorite fight yet. Not yet. We got Daniel Zuber versus Francisco Prado. Guys, if you guys know Daniel Zuber, guys, he's the golden boy. He's one of those guys that he's a UFC Mexico prospect. He kind of reminds me of like Yair Rodriguez when he was coming up. He's a masterful striker though. We got a minus 260 plus, and then minus 260 favorite, plus 210 for Francisco, Mexico, Argentina. 24 years old to 21. These guys are young as hell. This is in the lightweight division. 6'1", tall for lightweight. 5'11", like 1 inch in height difference. 77 and 69 in reach. So that's a massive discrepancy in reach. 77-inch reach to 69. That's like 8 inches in reach. That's almost like John Jones. Honestly, I'm going Daniel Zuber, but I'm gonna go by KO. But let's just look at his record. Look at his record. You look at his record. Otman Azaitar, Jamie Malarkey, Jose Barrios Vargas, and then Adrian Perron. Bro, how do you lose to Jamie Malarkey? Like that. Like they're just. This is a Mexico card. If you guys know, this is UFC Mexico. The only thing they have to take into consideration is the elevation. How are these favorites gonna act in the elevation? Are they gonna get tired round 2 or 3? And I think he's acclimated. I think Golden Boy's gonna win. And give me a second round or third round KO, Daniel Zuber. Just because Jamie Malarkey sucks. All right, my favorite fight of the night, my most anticipated fight on this card. Yair Rodriguez versus Brian Ortega. Not one, two, motherfucker. Yair Rodriguez versus Brian Ortega 2. This fight is gonna be insane. A lot of people are saying fight doesn't go the distance. I'm saying I got a special one. Over 2.5. The over 2.5 is going to hit on this fight, and I know it. People are going to be like, oh, Yair's going to KO him under 2 rounds, under 3 rounds, bro. Or he's going to submit him. Nah, bro. This is going over 2.5. If you guys know Brian T. City, I've been watching Brian T. City since 2018. My guy's a literal demon. T. City's an absolute demon, man. That he's so good. You saw when he wrapped up Volkanovski, he almost got him. But we have to take into consideration his last 2 losses, Alexander Volkanovski and Yair Rodriguez. Yair Rodriguez caught him in like a weird, Brian Ortega was able to take him down, but Yair Rodriguez caught him in like a weird, it was like a weird arm, like his arm got cut, like not cut off. Shoulder. It was his shoulder. His shoulder, like it popped. Now I remember his shoulder popped. We look at these fights, guys. Let's break it down. Minus 165, plus 135. The only thing that's bad about T City is he's not active. That guy's last fight was in 2022. That was a year and 7 months ago, bro. That was so long ago. Yair fought for the interim title and then he fought Josh Emmett for the interim title and then fought Volkanovski within that amount of time. So we know that Yair is way more active. It's crazy because Yair only has 1 more win than him in the last 5, but that has to do with inactivity. 31 years old to 33 years old. I thought Ortega was a little younger, but he's getting a little bit older. 145, featherweight division, 5'11 to 5'8, 71 to 69 inch reach. If we see Ortega win this fight, it's going to be imitation of the Korean Zombie fight, where Chang Sung-jun, where he beat him by decision, I believe. And he actually ended up hurting Chang Sung-young bad. He hurt him bad. 13% of the majority picks are going by Ortega. You can see a lot of people are going by submission. You can, some people are saying by decision, but if you're looking for Ortega, it's, there's some good sub props, and 87% of the people are picking Yair. You can see a lot of people are going by KO. Not a lot of people are going by submission, but for as of right now, guys, give me T City, give me Brian Ortega, and you're gonna like ask me why, like Yair Rodriguez has the kicks, he has the setups, but he was able to take him down in the first fight, and I know Yair Rodriguez was looking for a sub, and he's very good at subs off his back, considering he got Josh Emmett from the back with a triangle choke. Um, I just think that T City's gonna make something happen. He just when we see T City, sometimes he takes a long break and then he comes back and then he wins, or he just comes back and then he loses really bad. But give me T City just because I like the underdog, and I think this is gonna be a war. I don't know why, but I think this is gonna be a war, and I think Ortega can find like a submission. But we also have a video on Friday, the weigh-in recap video. So always look at the weigh-in recap video because that will be my final prediction. And weigh-in recap video is almost 90% accurate. So give me T City and give me T City by sub round. Give me T City by sub round 4. I might make a pick flip though this Friday. You never know though. I just like T City, man. I don't know. I'm just a massive Ortega fan, and maybe I'm a little biased, but you can never go wrong with Yair Rodriguez. But I'm gonna be hitting the over 2.5. I'm not gonna be favoring one specific fighter over the other. My official prediction is Brian T City Ortega by submission, but I will be hitting the over 2.5. Yo, Brandon Moreno versus Brandon Royval, the two dogs, man. This is a rematch with the co-main and then a rematch with the main event. This fight is absolutely insane, guys. If you guys saw the first fight, Royval got hurt with his arm. Like his arm. My headset died. My headset turned off. His arm got stuck. His arm got stuck. It was I don't know what they called it. His arm got stuck behind Moreno, and Moreno was like holding the. He was like just punching him. He lost a shoulder injury, which is crazy considering that Brian Ortega lost by shoulder injury as well. Guys, Royval is a dog, man. He lost to Pantoja by rear naked choke. So he lost fast to Brandon Romero and Alexandre Pantoja, but he ended up, like putting up an even better fight in the rematch. So we know that he's always a dog. He's always a dog. He's always gonna put a better fight in the rematch. I think this fight also goes over 2.5. So I have 2.5 for the main event and 2.5 over 2.5 for the co-main event. So that means after the after the third round, hit 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the third round. That's what it means. And that's what I think. I think that's a lock. But if you guys want a real lock, go with Mexico. Go with Mexico City's fan favorite, man, Brandon Moreno, the assassin baby. We have minus 250, plus 205 on Brandon Royval. United States versus Mexico. Tijuana. We know Tijuana is a beautiful place. 30 years old to 31. It's crazy that Moreno's only 30 years old, considering all the title fights that he's had. Flyweight division. We have a lot of flyweight fights on this card. 5'7" to 5'9", 70-inch reach to 70-inch reach to 70.5-inch reach. Royval is he plays long. Sometimes he may not look like he has that longer reach, but sometimes he plays a little long, or sometimes he gets caught into a fight and into like a dog fight, and then then he gets like a little gas. We saw with Alexandre Pantoja, he was just laying on him. Pantoja was just laying on Royval, and Royval got a little gas in that fight, but he did very, very good in that fight. I'm not discrediting him, but I think he's going to gas in this fight. I just think Moreno already trains at elevation. I think Moreno's going to win, and I think Moreno's going to win by decision. Give me Moreno by decision. I know it's plus money, or it's like minus 105, but the majority is picking Moreno by decision. Some people are going by submission. More people are going by KO. But give me him by decision just because Moreno, his last 5 fights have all went to decision, and they've been like 5 rounds. Let me just make sure that that's true. Yeah, decision. He lost by split decision, considering that was crazy. I thought Moreno won that fight, but he did a way better job against Pantoja than Royval. But MMA math never works. He beat Davison Figueroa, beat Kai Kara France. I thought Kai Kara France was one of his best wins. That liver kick to ground strikes was insane. And then Davison Figueroa. This guy fought so many times in 2022, 2023, 2020, 2021. Like this guy has been so active, and I think he gets another title shot. I think he beats Royval, and I think maybe he gets like one more win, or maybe they give him the title shot and they give him Pantoja again. Brandon Moreno is known for having rematches on top of rematches on top of rematches. They might make a quadrilogy with Pantoja. Give me Brandon Moreno by decision, guys. You guys know what to do. Have fun on these Saturday. Have fun watching these fights on Saturday. Enjoy it, guys. This is like 2 pay-per-views back to back. We just had UFC 298, which was a massive success. Most of the favorites won on UFC 298. The only favorite that didn't win was Volkanovski on UFC 298. This one, I feel there's going to be a lot more dogs. Way more dogs on this card. And this is like a fight night pay-per-view, man. Enjoy it, guys. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Leave a like on this video if you guys liked. Drop a comment down below, guys. And let me know your most anticipated fight for UFC Mexico City. Let me know. Let me know in the comments below, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one, guys. The best is blessed, baby. See you at the top.